Putting my glasses
The
on.
world has become too absurd to be
can't look at this
satirized.
directly.
The great English writer G.K. Chesterton said that way back in 1911, long before math was considered racist and biological.
Wait, what happened? Wait, what? Math is considered racist?
Men were allowed to compete against women in sports.
Oh, yeah, okay.
One can only imagine what he would say if he were alive today.
He'd probably say, please don't quote me, PragerU. I imagine that would be what he would say. That's what I would say if I was him.
At the BabylonBee, where we write satire for a living, we're...
This is dude from like... okay, so the BabylonBee, in case any of you don't know, the BabylonBee is like the unfunny, conservative version of The Onion, okay? So you know how The Onion is like really funny and pointed and intelligent and like, you know, cutting and acerbic with its wit? The BabylonBee is like the mentally underdeveloped, sad cousin, conservative cousin of The Onion, okay? So that's the BabylonBee.
Feeling Chesterton's pain in a big way. Just look at these headlines that were satirical at the time we wrote them.
Okay.
On May 9th, 2017, we ran this headline. 2 + 2 = 4, insists closed-minded bigot. That was a joke, of course. But on August 10th, 2020, the Washington Examiner published this story.
Okay.
Math professor claims equation 2 + 2 = 4 reeks of white supremacist patriarchy.
Oh my God, can you wait? So you mean to tell me that a conservative paper quote mined some random professor that no one's ever heard of who might have said something ridiculous, but we don't even know because it could just be taken out of context. And oh my God, wow. It's like the satire is coming to life. It's coming to life because you found one guy who maybe, or girl or whatever, who maybe said something similar to what you wrote satirically in your fucking paper. Okay. Because clearly that's like a super mainstream belief that, you know, a lot of people on like the left hold is that 2 + 2 = 4 is racist. Yeah, I've met so many people who believe that.
On August 13th, 2020, we ran this headline. BLM rioters awarded Nobel Peace Prize. At the time...
Well, that's not even ridiculous to me. They were literally fucking protesting to fix fucking inequalities in our justice system that are demonstrable. It's not even like a matter of opinion. Like if you just like, it's just factually there. You can fucking analyze it. You can fucking look at statistics that back it up. This is not someone's opinion that like, there's inequalities in our justice system and there's racial biases and stuff. That's not someone's opinion. That's a fucking fact that can be supported by mountains of fucking evidence that can easily be fucking put forth at any given time and often are. But conservatives just go, la, 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 fake news, la, 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 I don't hear you, la, 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 1350, 1350, 1350, that's the only statistic I care about, 1350. Well, why is that happening? Well, I don't care why. Who cares why? Doesn't matter why. Reasons don't matter.
We thought this was obvious satire, but on January 29th, 2021, this story was published in The Guardian. Black Lives Matter movement nominated for Nobel Peace Prize.
So what? Nominated doesn't mean they won it. Hitler was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Who gives a fuck? Anybody can be fucking nominated for it.
On March 25th, 2020, we ran this headline. Pants sales plummet as everyone working from home. The very next day, this story appeared in Yahoo Finance. Amid coronavirus, Walmart says it's seeing increased sales of tops, but not bottoms.
What is even the point of this one? Like, what was the point of your satire? You literally saw, like, people are staying home more because there's a fucking pandemic. I bet you there's going to be less pants sales. How is it even a joke? Like, what's even the joke there? Yeah, people are less likely to wear pants if they don't fucking have to. Now, I do, because I'm a weirdo. I like wearing my jeans around. I wear my shoes indoors, too. I pretty much am fully dressed at all times. I'm not the kind of dude that sits around my house shirtless or pantsless or even shoeless. I'm pretty much fully dressed if I'm awake. If I'm asleep, I'm naked. If I'm awake, I'm fully clothed. Even in the shower, I'm fully fucking clothed. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. This is just like, it's a no-brainer. Like, I don't even understand what your intent was with saying that statement satirically, because, like, honestly, it just seems like valid conjecture about what's going on. Like anybody could have probably made that inference and realized it was true. So this is not like if you're trying to say that like, oh, the world is so ridiculous because this actually happened. No, I mean, it just makes sense. If people are staying home more because there's a fucking pandemic, then yeah, they're not going to wear pants as much. Because most people don't like wearing pants. They wear it because they fucking have to for social reasons.
I could go on. Our satirical headlines are proving to be prophetic with astonishing regularity.
Prophetic. Because okay, wait. So let's look at their prophecies, okay? They joke that 2 + 2 = 4 would be considered racist. It's not. No one considers it racist. Maybe some professor somewhere that we've never heard of. Who cares? That doesn't fucking represent a prediction coming true. The thing about the pants was just no-brainer bullshit. I don't even understand what your intent was in terms of satire there. And what was the other one? I got to go back and refresh my stupid fucking memory here. Oh, yeah, BLM getting nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, which, like, anybody or anything can be fucking nominated. Hitler was nominated. Doesn't mean shit. But also, there's no fucking reason why they shouldn't be nominated. So, fuck you.
Our job, satire, with astonishing regularity.
Right.
So what does this mean for humor and satire? Well, for one thing, it makes our job much more difficult.
Well, here's a good thing for you. You don't really have to worry about that because under no circumstances are you good at humor and satire. You know what I mean? Like, hold on. Let's just pay a fucking visit to the BabylonBee right now and see if anything is funny. Oops, AP reporter forgets to remove Hamas headband before going live. Oh! Here are the vaccine incentives being offered in each of the 50 states. I'm sure there's some fucking comedy brilliance in there. Disney to remove problematic kiss from classic movie Snow White will now remain dead. That's kind of funny. Heroes of faith and defending the family. I don't know. There's not even a joke in the headline. All right, what's else? On racist okay sign, deaf community remains suspiciously silent. Haha, because they're deaf. China lands alluring female Mars rover to steal secrets from NASA rover. Libertarians to begin wearing masks now that the government says they don't have to, probably. I don't know. I don't feel like clicking it to see the rest. Amid gasoline shortage, Antifa switches to Molotov mocktails. Okay. So, depressingly unfunny. All right, so let's see. Let's see how that compares to like The Onion. Taco Bell employee has had far greater positive impact on people's lives than firefighter ever could. I love it already. Fuck firefighters and yay Taco Bell employees. Young mayor can't believe stallion she slept with lied to her about being 5-2 favorite in Preakness Stakes. I don't even get it. I don't know horse stuff. But you know what's kind of nice? Not every single thing on there, like, The Onion clearly has sort of like a liberal, maybe even slightly lefty bias, but not every fucking article needs to fucking reflect that. They just tell jokes for the sake of being funny sometimes. They don't have to constantly shove their political agenda down your throat. They only sometimes do that. Man unaware Israel-Palestine opinion retained verbatim from 1997 beauty pageant contestants answer. Wait, what was that? Was that like some cleverness I just saw? Shit. Kevin Durant spends all day feuding with own burner account. I don't know who that is. Maybe I would find it funny if I did. Parents can't believe how bad their daughter is at being raised by them. Okay. These are funny. These are well written. These are clever. The bit on the BabylonBee is not. Conservatives suck at fucking comedy. I don't know why, but they just do.
You might be surprised to hear that. The crazier reality is, the easier it is to make fun of, right? Actually, it's the opposite. Satire exaggerates the truth to make a point. But when reality is this absurd and extreme views and behavior...
You guys are the ones that elected a big orange reality star buffoon to be president of the United States, okay? So let's not lecture us on how ridiculous things are getting. You guys voted for Trump. So, I mean, you got no room to talk. None.
...behavior are commonplace. How do you go a step beyond it? Almost anything we publish now ends up being believable. And much of it ends up actually coming true, as you've just seen.
Oh, wow.
This is exactly what Chesterton was talking about. It's one of the ways the left is killing satire.
Poor fucking GK Chesterton, man. Having to be lumped in with this shit. I just feel, I don't really know much about GK Chesterton, but I feel like he wouldn't like this. I feel like he probably would not be down with what the fuck is going on here. Let's see, maybe he would. I want to learn about, this has inspired me to learn about GK Chesterton, man. Chesterton's writings consistently displayed wit and a sense of humor. He employed paradox while making serious comments on the world, government, politics, economics, philosophy, theology, and many other topics. I'm going to kind of assume that he would probably have been an Onion writer and not a BabylonBee writer, just based on the fact that his fucking Wikipedia page has such prestige. But I don't know what his opinions are, so maybe he'd agree with this. Someone who's a fucking expert in GK Chesterton will have to fucking set me straight on this.
By turning reality into a parody of itself. There's another, more intentional and insidious way the left is killing satire.
Yeah.
And that's through censorship.
So wait, what was the first way? The first way is that they've made reality so ridiculous that you can't satirize it. Once again, you guys, like, can we remember who voted for the orange reality star, please? Can we put this in fucking context? You guys literally had a monosyllabic grunting fucking reality star with an orange complexion who couldn't fucking answer a question, get through a sentence, or formulate a fucking thought more complex than I want a cheeseburger, and you took that motherfucker and made him president of the United States because you liked the way that he told people they were fired on a fucking reality show where he played a billionaire. Give me a fucking break, bitch. Who made this shit ridiculous? And what was your president before that? Before that, you motherfuckers had George W. Bush. The only fucking human being on the face of the earth that would lose a game of tic-tac-toe to a fucking chicken. Give me a fucking break. Before that, you guys venerated Sarah Palin. Like, who's the motherfuckers that keeps highlighting and spotlighting the dumbest shits possible and putting them forth as, like, potential leaders of the country? It's not the left, bitch.
CNN purchases industrial-sized washing machine to spin news before publication. Believe it or not, Snopes fact-checked this story. I mean, come on. A washing machine to spin the news?
All right, let's see this. Hold on. Okay. So, it's not labeled false. It's labeled satire. Here I am on the page. Has this page been modified since? No, this has not been labeled false. It's been labeled satire. So basically, because the readers of the BabylonBee are so stupid, a number of them read this and were like, this is real. And then they were like distributing it like this is real things that are happening. And so Snopes had to go look at it and be like, this is satire, guys. So this dude is a fucking liar. Unless the Snopes thing has been changed since this. In response to this, maybe. I don't see any evidence that that's happened, but maybe that's what's happened. I don't know.
That's an obvious joke. But Snopes fact-checked it and rated it false, as if we'd written a serious story.
Yeah.
It used to be.
I kind of put the cart before the horse on that one. Full disclosure, I have not watched this whole video, but I had seen that section of it. And so I knew he was going to make that claim. I guess I got ahead of myself on that one.
That jokes were either funny or not. They made you laugh, or they didn't. But now, in the fact-checking age, we're giving them a truth rating. Jokes are no longer fun.
Nope. It's not rated as false. It's rated as satire. Here's what they said. Although it should have been obvious that the BabylonBee piece was just a spoof of the ongoing political brouhaha over alleged news media bias and fake news, some readers missed that aspect of the article and interpreted it literally. But the site's footer gives away the BabylonBee's nature by describing it as your trusted source for Christian news satire. And the site has been responsible for a number of other, usually religious-themed spoofs that have been mistaken for real news articles. Okay? So there was nothing in it that's like, this is false or true or false. They didn't fact-check the joke. They just let people know this is satire because there was people going around dumb enough to believe it.
Funny. They're false. And false information is dangerous. In response to the Snopes fact check, Facebook warned us that we'd be demonetized and deplatformed if we continued publishing fake news. It should go without saying that there's a big difference between fake news, which is meant to deceive, and satire, which is meant to entertain and inform through mockery, humor, and irony. But the left benefits by blurring this distinction. If they can successfully lump us in with fake news, then they can shut us down.
Has the BabylonBee been shut down? Seems like it's not been shut down. Seems like it's doing just fine. I don't know. Like, if there comes a point where the BabylonBee is like actually censored, then we can look at that case and we can determine whether or not it was justified. Whether or not there was like, because like you can't just publish fake news and be like, well, it's satire. Like you can't just like, I'm publishing lies, but if there's a small footer somewhere that says it's satire. Now the washing machine thing, anyone who doesn't realize that's satire is obviously an idiot. But you know, I don't know, like this hasn't happened. So basically what I'm hearing here is the left is using its insidious censorship to censor us, but there hasn't actually been any censorship. There's just like, maybe censorship will happen to us in the future. Well, until it does, what are we talking about? Because yeah, that could potentially happen. A lot of things could potentially happen. It hasn't happened yet, so what are we talking about here?
It's that simple. These fact checks, which often smear us by suggesting we're purposefully misleading people, are nothing more than a creative, conniving way of justifying censorship.
Well, maybe the fact checkers should just be like, this fact check is just satire. And they could just have it out.
But why would anyone want to censor satire? Why is Facebook paying USA Today to write lengthy refutations of our jokes? Yes, they actually do that. Because
prove it.
Humor is ultimately a vehicle for truth delivery, and the truth can be offensive. Think about all the things you're not allowed to say anymore, not because they're false, but because they make people uncomfortable.
So wait, I'm really confused by the argument that's happening now. So basically you're saying that you can't be labeled fake news because what you're doing is satire, but now you're saying that satire reveals the truth. So you're saying, so when it's convenient for your satire to not be conveying information, you say, well, it's obviously satire. But when, but then in the other hand, it's like, oh, well, the reason they're trying to censor it is because we're telling the truth. So which is it? Is it just like harmless satire that no one takes seriously, or is it the truth that we're not allowed to hear? Make your mind up on that and then defend it according to that. Because you can't have it both ways. It can't, out of one side of your mouth, be like, just a joke, bro. But then the other side's like, we're being censored because we're telling the truth. Those are two totally contradictory fucking positions, bro. You can't have it both ways on that.
Satire cuts right through the pretense and political correctness to expose uncomfortable truths, and it does so more ruthlessly and effectively than anything else.
Yeah, when you're talking about like something like The Onion, I agree. When you're talking about something like the BabylonBee, no. It's basically just dumb shit like, okay guys, here's my idea for a headline. Gender abolitionists declare moon to be demigender. What, I don't know. Like, you know, it's stuff like that. Like, you know, here's my latest variation on the attack helicopter joke, but we'll say, you know, woman identifies as stapler. There you go. There's your latest BabylonBee headline. The acerbic wit of the BabylonBee is razor sharp. It's like, you guys are not intelligent enough to fucking describe yourselves this way. Like, oh, wow, such biting, brilliant fucking satire that just cuts to the heart of the fucking matter. It's like, that's not you. You guys are like the dumb shit, low IQ, conservative Christian attempt at that, and nothing more.
C.S. Lewis said, good philosophy must exist if for no other reason because bad philosophy needs to be answered. Satire is necessary for the same reason. Satire ridicules bad ideas. And now, more than ever, bad ideas need to be exposed for what they are before they gain an even bigger foothold on our minds and hearts, especially on the minds and hearts of young people. And while good philosophy and rational argumentation are indispensable, It's often humor that's most effective.
Well, maybe that's true, but you guys suck at it, so I just love the cognitive dissonance of the BabylonBee on out of one side of its mouth being like, bro, we just satire. Like, can you believe they take us so seriously? We're just satire. But then on the other hand, like, we are the noble truth tellers that they're desperate to silence because we are here to save Western civilization from the terrible ideas of the left. It's like, which are you, motherfucker? Are you just harmless satire that should just, whatever, who cares? Let us say what we want. Everyone realizes it's just a fucking joke, bro. Or are you the fucking great warriors in some ideological battle? Because you cannot be both of those fucking things. You know what I mean? Like, this is just like weird, basic, upfront cognitive dissonance. Every time I see the ratings on one of these videos, by the way, I want to fucking puke. Like, what 18,000 fucking dumb dupe motherfucking subhuman low-level fucking IQ dipshit motherfuckers watch this piece of fucking propaganda pig shit and we're like, thumbs up.
To quote our friend G.K. Chesterton once more, humor can get in
Poor
under the door,
GK.
while seriousness is still fumbling at the handle. I'm Seth Dillon, CEO of the BabylonBee for Prager University. Thank you for watching.
Another person that I just hate because he's more successful than me. Oh, okay, that was painful.